Hey guys, let's talk about limits on a table. Okay, limits on a table are a little bit different than limits on a graph. Because you're looking at it, you've got your x values and your y values. We want to know what is the limit as you get close to 3, or equal 3. But it doesn't actually tell us where we're going. I mean, if we're looking at this on a graph, does this come up for forever and go to infinity? Is it going to come up and just have a hole? Is it going to come up, have a hole here, jump down, then come back down? What's going on? Okay, there's very many different things that could be happening. Technically, there's 4 or 5, but I'm going to just stick with this for now. So what we need to do is we need to fill out as much as we can with the table. At x equals 3, are we continuous? Or not? Okay, there's a hole right there. Does not exist. There's no x equals 3. So let's think, well, as 4 is getting closer to 3, what are we approaching? What are we getting closer and closer and closer to? We might need to do a little bit of math and figure that out, okay? So let's say you go through and you plug in, I don't know, 3.1 for your x. And it gives you 1001. Where does it look like that number's probably gonna go to? Probably gonna go to infinity. Here, if we try it on this side, we do x equals 2.999, and it gives us 1,000,000. Where is it going to from the negative side? Well, negative side is definitely going to 1,000,000. From the positive side, it looks like it's getting higher. What's a number less than 3.1 but more than 3? How about 3.001? When we type in 3.001, what if we get 3? What if we get a little over 1,000,000 as well? Well, then it's definitely heading up to, I'm sorry, that should have been 1,000,000. It's gonna keep going up and up and up and up and up, right? So in that case, we just say it goes to infinity. So what is the limit as x approaches 3 from either side, from both sides? It looks like it is approaching positive infinity. Okay, here we go. I've got a tricky one for you right now. So what is the limit as x approaches 2 from the positive side? What does it look like it's going to probably get close to? Probably going to get close to 3. What is it going to get close to as we approach it from the negative side? Probably also going to get pretty close to 3. So what do we think the limit is as we approach 2? Probably 3? Okay. And what does x equal? Well, x equals 3. Well, that one we can be sure of. Now, these other ones, we actually cannot be sure of, okay? Let me show you why. So, just from what we're looking at, it looks like it's just a nice line that goes up, kind of like this, right? Just 3 nice points. But how do you know it doesn't actually look like this? You see here, the limit as it would be approaching from the positive side would be what? 3.5? The limit as it approaches from the negative side would be what? 2.5? How can we tell? What we need to do is we need to start plugging in numbers that are really, really close to 2. 2.001 would be very, very close to 2. 1.999 would be very, very close to 2. That's how we'd be able to tell from a table as we are approaching 2, okay? So let's say we plug in 1.99999 and we get 2.49. And here on this side we get 3.51. Are we really approaching 3? Well, let's put a couple more 9s on there. And we end up getting 2.49876. Oh, we're not getting closer to 3. We're getting closer to 2.5. We're not getting closer to 3 though, okay? Here, let's say put on a couple more zeros. We get 3.5081, something like that, okay? Well, in that case, what we're seeing here is literally what's happening in the second example that I have, okay? You've got your line that comes across, x and y axis. You've got 1, 1, you've got 1.52, and then it kind of levels off, and it doesn't really get all the way up to 3. There's a jump. You've got 2, 3, and the line keeps going again. Okay. In this case, your limit as x equals positive, as x is approaching positive 2, would be 3.5, not 3. X says it's approaching 2 from the negative side, 2.49. Do we have a limit as x approaches 2? There's not a set limit. Okay, so it's coming in at different angles. All right, so here we go. We're going to try to figure out the limit as x equals 4. Now, sometimes when you're doing it on a computer, the computer won't tell you any numbers off the bat. You have to go through and plug in numbers on your own. You might plug in 4. Then a computer would tell you what the y value is going to be. Y value does not exist. Well, okay, so we know that there's a hole or asymptote there, okay? That's 2 of the things that could be happening. Okay, that's option 1, this is option 2. Well, let's think. What if we're approaching 4 from the positive side? What number would I plug into this table to know roughly what it's approaching from the positive side? So we plug in 4.00001, and it gives me some number like 989,432. Where are we going? Is it getting higher or lower? It's going to keep getting higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. So in this case, we're approaching infinity. Okay. So it's probably going to be an asymptote. From the positive side, it's going up and up and up and up and up and up. Let's think about where it's going from the negative side. If there's an asymptote, it's either going to probably go up or it's going to go down. Let's find out. So let's plug in what would be a little bit less than 4, 3.9. Okay, put a bunch of 9s on there, get it really, really close to 4, and all of a sudden it pulls up 4.9993. What? So there's a hole right there. That's interesting. Okay. So it looks like it's approaching 5 from the negative side. Okay. So as we're coming up on 4 from the negative side, looks like we're getting close to 5. Probably comes off like this. Okay. So what is the limit as x approaches 4? Are our positive and negative limits the same? They are not. So do we have a limit at 4? We don't. Okay. Do we have a limit at x equals 4? We do not, because there's no actual value there. All right, the next one I want you guys to try. Give it your best shot. Again, pause the video if you need to. Here's your problem. What is the limit as x approaches 4 from the positive side? Well, from the negative side. What's the limit as x approaches 4? What is the limit as x equals 4? Okay, pause the video if you haven't already. Get the right answer. We're going to go through the answers now. All right, so we know that x equals 4. Well, when x is 4, y is 5. We know that as x approaches 4, from the positive side, we're getting close to 5. But when we approach from the negative side, we're getting close to, and what does that look like, 18? So what is the limit as x equals 4, or as x is approaching 4? Well, it's approaching at 2 different spots. So in that case, there is no limit. Let me explain this one just a little bit more. I think this one might be throwing a couple people off. Let's think of it as back to that school bus example, okay? So we have a graph. It's approaching from the positive side. We're coming towards 5. Okay. And on this side, we're coming towards 18. Let's think of this as a school bus, okay? So we have one school bus driving along. There you go, our happy school bus. It's driving along. It's going to school. School. number 5, okay? Going to school number 5, whatever that is. We'll call it Jefferson High School. We've got another school bus. It's driving along. It's coming to school number 1. Burbank. All right. Remember, a limit is where are we going? Where is this bus going? It's going to Jefferson. Where is this bus going? It's going to Burbank. Are they going to the same place? There's not. So can we say uniformly that the buses are going to the same place? No, we can't. All right, give the assignment a try.